All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about something huge, the idea that your mindset is the single biggest key to unlocking your absolute best performance. Think of it as the invisible engine that drives success, whether you're an athlete, an artist, or just trying to crush it at your job. So let's get into it. So, have you ever wondered about this? You see two people, right? They've got the same skills, the same training, but one of them just takes off like a rocket, and the other one, well, they just seem stuck. What is that invisible force at play? Because, physical talent can only get you so far. Eventually, the playing field evens out. So what's the real difference maker? And there it is. When all else is equal, the separator is your mind. It's not just about having the talent. It's about building a mental framework that lets that talent shine, especially under pressure, again and again. It's all about deliberately, intentionally building a mindset for peak performance. So, where do we even begin? Well, the first big idea is that peak performance is never an accident. It's built on a daily commitment to taking care of your entire self, constantly sharpening the most important tool you have, you. You might have heard of this idea from Stephen Covey. He called it sharpening the saw. And the idea is that to be at our best, we need to regularly renew ourselves across four key dimensions: our physical health, our mental sharpness, our spiritual sense of purpose, and our social and emotional connections. And the key here, the real key, is balance. If you neglect one, the whole system starts to get, well, dull. And look, this isn't some high-level abstract theory. We're talking about building a concrete daily routine. It all starts with that physical foundation, things like a morning workout and getting enough quality sleep. But it also extends to your mental state, with practices like meditation to get some clarity and gratitude to frame your whole perspective. These are absolutely not just nice-to-haves. They're the non-negotiable building blocks for a mind that's ready to perform at its peak. Okay, so once you've got that daily foundation locked in, we can move on to the more proactive mental tools that elite performers swear by. We're shifting from just maintaining to actively training your mind. This, my friends, is the inner game.
First up, visualization. And let's be clear, this is so much more than just daydreaming. It's like a structured mental rehearsal. When you imagine success in vivid, multisensory detail, what you're seeing, hearing, even feeling, you are literally training the neural pathways in your brain. You're creating a blueprint for achievement and basically programming your mind to execute when it's go time.
So how do you actually do this? Well, it starts with getting super clear, writing down your goal in as much detail as possible. But here's the kicker. Just seeing it isn't enough. You have to feel it. You have to connect it to the powerful emotion of what success will feel like. From there, it's all about bridging that mental picture with the real world through daily action. This whole cycle, practice for just 10 minutes twice a day, trains your subconscious to turn that vision into a reality. All right, our second big tool is all about mastering self-talk. You know that little narrator that's always running in the background of your mind? It can be your worst critic or your number one fan. Negative thoughts like, "I can't do this," are confidence killers. But when you consciously choose positive self-talk, like, "Hey, mistakes are just part of learning," you're not just being a cheerleader. You are actively taking control of your thought patterns and building the rock-solid self-belief you need to perform. Okay, but let's be real. What happens when things go wrong? Because they will. True peak performance isn't defined by having a flawless record. No way. It's defined by what athletes call the rebound effect. It's the ability to not just recover from a setback, but to bounce back even stronger and faster than before. Now, to build that resilience, we first have to understand the beast we're trying to tame: performance anxiety. And it's not just in your head. It usually starts with those cognitive symptoms, that negative self-talk, which then triggers a very real physical reaction, like your heart racing. That combination then leads to behavioral changes, like putting things off or avoiding the situation altogether. Recognizing this domino effect is the absolute first step to breaking the chain. So, what's the secret sauce for resilient people? How do they handle this? It's all about the reframe. Instead of seeing a setback as just a failure, they actively search for the lesson inside the mess. They treat adversity as a critical learning opportunity, as the exact feedback they needed to get even better. And on the flip side, there are habits that will absolutely sabotage your resilience. I'm talking about things like chasing perfection, which just sets an impossible standard, or that trap of constantly comparing yourself to others, which only pulls you off your own path. These mindsets just chip away at your mental fortitude and keep you stuck in the mess, instead of helping you find the lesson. Phew! Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. We've got the daily foundation, the mental tools, and the resilience to bounce back. So let's bring it all together into a simple, actionable blueprint you can start using like today.
So here it is, your 3-step blueprint to mastery. First, build those daily systems. You have to consistently sharpen your saw across all 4 pillars: physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. Second, master your mental tools. Make visualization and positive self-talk a regular, non-negotiable practice. And third, you gotta cultivate resilience. Learn to reframe those setbacks, find the meaning in the mess, and shorten your rebound time. This is the path.
So let's wrap up with this final thought. Peak performance isn't some destination you just arrive at one day. It's a daily practice. It's an ongoing commitment to mastering your mindset. So after everything we've talked about, the real question I have for you is this: what is the one habit you're going to commit to starting today?